Good evening. So we're just gonna go over mainly about command calling and stuff like that. I feel like our DNC is pretty good at the individual and flight level. So, very first, our references here are gonna be the DCH, which you can find on the DET drive. Also, the DAFPAM 34-1203, which is the official Air Force DNC manual or pamphlet, actually. So we're gonna get into some kind of commands. There are two main commands that we basically use in the Air Force. So there's two-part commands. Those are your standard commands. It's like almost every command. That has a command, a preparatory command, and a command of execution. You have right face, column right. Those are all preparatory, or those are all two-part commands. Then you have what's called combined commands, which is where you have the preparatory command and the command of execution combined into one command. So that's like fall in and at ease. Yeah.
Wait, you don't carry out a command until the execution, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a preparatory command prepares you for the command. Every command, every drill movement has its individual, distinct preparatory command. And then the command of execution tells you to actually execute that command. So, yeah.
Excuse me, why don't we just always do combined?
Huh?
Why is it always just combined?
Because it's just kind of like the rules. there's some movements that have their own command. So like fall in is just a combined command. At ease is just a combined command. Right face, left face are all two-part commands.
Okay.
It's just how they made it. Any other questions? How you feeling? Cool. There's another command called as you were. As you were is used to revoke a preparatory command. It can't be used after a command of execution is given. I know that's different from what we've been doing here at the DET. A lot of the times they say you call raw command and they say as you were. That's not technically correct, but we'll still do it. Yeah.
Wait, can you give us an example of that?
So say you say right, like you give the command right, and then you say, oh no, I want them to turn left.
Oh,
So you
okay,
say
okay.
right, and you say as you were, then left. Like if you meant to call a different command,
Okay.
you'd say as you were.
Wait, but it has to be before the execution?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes, yep, wait,
Yeah.
that is brain power.
Wait, so now when like we messed up and then they're like, oh, do it again, and then we're like, oh, as you were. Is that correct?
That's-
However, what would be wrong is if you said right harch and then they did it anyways. You can't say as you were because you completed the command.
So
Oh, really?
once that command of execution is given, the people in the flight are supposed to like execute command as best as they could, even if the flight commander messes up. And so, yeah, technically you can't say as you were after the command of execution was given, but I mean, if POC or someone tells you to do it, just do it. But yeah.
Wait, question. Suppose what happens when you mess up like a command? Like what happens then? Do you just and the flight just keeps moving?
That's where your leadership skills come in. Critical thinking. And you gotta think about like how to stop it. That make sense? So you use other commands to fix your mistake.
That time I marched you guys at what's it called? That place, and then we did it like wrong like 3 times. And we were going that way.
Yeah,
Because I followed Lima, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, I get that. That was intense.
Yeah, but you said it
Yeah.
from the start. Oh.
And then you gave a different command and I went the exact opposite way. That was a little rough. I was
Alright,
like, oh well,
so
okay.
some general
Auto-guiding.
rules for commands. Always be at the position of attention when you're calling commands. A lot of the times, like a flight commander will call from like parade rest or something else. Always be at the position of attention when you call a command. Even if that means you have to like snap to attention, then call it. That's what you do. Also, when you're marching, you always have to be in step with the rest of the flight, so you be in cadence. When you're marching as well. But here's a good thing. So, if you're ever wondering like what like foot to call a command on, think about like the direction of movement where you're calling. So if you call a column right, you're gonna be moving to the right. That means call it on the right foot. Same thing with left. If you're moving to the left, call on the left foot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh wait, so if we're moving left, the moment our left foot steps is left face.
So when I get what she means. It's like you're gonna say harch when once they just step to
Yeah.
the right, on the right.
It's always called on the left or on the foot in like the direction of movement, right?
They don't have the letter thing on the test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did they add it on this?
I don't know. Maybe it was a thing
You know
before.
what would be great if we do this in a study room that we booked.
For real. Well, you gotta make sure that we
There's
get
more
it.
whiteboards.
Yeah. Well, you gotta make sure that that one of the rooms has a whiteboard.
That's true.
I mean, which doesn't take that much work. It's just be like, okay, be conscious about where you're booking it. But here's fine.
I think I say it damn right.
All right. So this is your cadence, right?
Yeah.
You call it in cadence and on the right foot. So if you're calling column right, and do. So this is your first step. This is where you give the preparatory command. That's like another step, and then that's where you give the command execution. So you always give your commands in cadence as well.
Oh, okay.
Does that
So-
make sense?
Yeah.
One, and then we go
It'd be like
column
this.
right, two,
So standard
heart.
cadence is like at 120 BPM. It's kind of like this, a little bit faster than walking. So it'd be like
Hey Trent, how's it going? Where do you focus?
column right, heart,
I focus my best to
Be
do
like,
that first, and then I
column right,
go for the
arch, column right, arch. Does that make sense?
All right, then do it with the left one.
What was your question?
Oh, I don't know these leadership skills, but you know when like you're in the middle of cadence, but then you have to turn right away. How do you even do that? Yeah. You just.
You
If
did
you're
it
in the middle
wrong.
of cadence, like obviously, you'd have to cut your cadence because you have to make the turn.
But then they're like, oh, don't do that. You can't interrupt your cadence.
Yeah. But I mean, would you rather continue your cadence and then run into like an obstacle, or
That's true. That's true.
make the turn?
So you
Yeah.
just interrupt it and just go.
Yeah, but I think the entire point is like
How
they
does this
don't
work
want
now
you,
for
they
you
want you to
guys?
plan ahead in such a way that
Just
you
making-
don't do that.
Well, I feel like this probably won't apply to us tomorrow.
I feel like they're probably gonna
No,
give you
it
very
will
quick.
for sure.
Yeah, no,
They're gonna tell us to
Yeah, they made us do it
Yeah.
like day one, and I was absolute garbage. I said
Any
face instead of
questions? You
heart.
guys have any questions?
Yeah.
For sure.
You guys also have you memorized week 1 and 2 knowledge from the Warrior Knowledge Handbook? You're gonna be quizzed on
I
it.
know the ranks, and I mean I kind of already know, but
I didn't know I have to take it. So, like,
Okay, you guys are gonna be quizzed on them, and it's kind of hard to memorize.
I
Like,
also have the software at home.
the way the quizzes are gonna work is they're gonna be blank spaces, and you just have to write them out completely by memory. Maybe there might be like an of if you have to like do a phrase. If,
Really?
let's say.
That's how you say it?
That's how you say it.
And like,
I thought it was hut.
Oh my God! I'm so glad you wrote that down. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a P at the
So
end.
when you're counting cadence, this is how you pronounce it. A lot of us say like 1, 2, 3, 4. You add a T and a P to the end of every one.
Hut,
To be
two,
hut,
three,
two,
forp.
three,
Someone told me
forp.
I shouldn't do forp. Like I think somebody told me that.
I don't have that.
Hut.
We're referencing the DCH.
Mm,
That's what it says in the DCH.
they were wrong.
Microsoft.
It's like, no, I'm joking.
All right. Oh, here's some frequent mistakes that we make as a flight too.
Did you disrespect
The command cover, right?
Want to get max
What does cover
points
do?
on this?
One of you guys, what
You
does
should
cover
at
do?
least get like
What does cover do?
Yeah.
on this one.
What does the command cover do?
I don't know.
it's just when you distance yourself.
Yeah.
Back into
However,
formation.
No, it's good that you.
However,
now you
Cover can only be called an in-column formation. In-column formation is like the column in the formation that we use in the Unity mark.
Yeah, you want to be snappy.
And so when you call cover, it's a very quick kind of like get in alignment really quickly.
Oh, that's what the arm out is. Oh, okay.
You know who'd be
No,
good at this?
don't put arms out.
Flight commander.
Then what the heck is the arm out?
why
for?
people do that? I saw people doing that.
So
a
flight
different
commander's on the
command.
left.
What is that?
Columns.
So this is the problem, right?
It's column is when like I'm
So cover,
facing your back, right? But what if we're side
It's like a
by side?
video game, bro.
What's that
You
again?
practice. You'll
Elements?
Oh, elements. Okay.
I think so.
Unions.
yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other besides
So,
column? It's
this
column
weekend,
and
instead of playing Fortnite,
what's the
yeah.
column like where it's like side by side?
Alright. Wait, so how about this
During
part?
PT.
Oral memorization. That's not on a test.
Like what is that?
So
That's
it's
not
So the
column.
formation,
Yeah.
it's inline formation. This is what I was going over too. You can only call cover from column formation.
So that's the only one where like marching or like.
And then they both come
Yeah, when you're like facing a person to
Just
your right.
write haze
Yeah.
and then you can.
Wait, when you're facing the person to your right?
When you're in
So this.
Yeah.
this kind of formation,
I mean, if you're in element formation,
I think.
and then there's like a
then
bunch of people.
well, one you can't really do much in general except for march
If you're
forward.
facing, those are the element leaders. That's like the furthest right. If you're facing this
so,
way,
yeah.
that's column.
You know
If you're
when
facing this way,
you do
that's called inline formation.
like morning roll call, I think that's
You
element
always
formation.
fall into
And then column
inline
formation is when we all
formation.
turn and face towards the guy.
So like when you first go into a formation, we're in inline. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
Then
that's
if
when
we
you-
were-
what is the command where everyone sticks their arms out?
That's
What-
dress right dress. So if you're in inline and you want to get your DCID right, you call dress right dress. You can't call cover in inline formation.
Like the letters aren't on.
Yeah.
Is that making sense?
Wait.
But don't you have to be halted to do that?
Yes. You have to be halted.
Wait. So like in PT, you just say dress right dress, and then everyone does that thing.
Okay.
If you're in
Like,
inline
I'm not
formation,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems way slower now going.
If
to
you're
people
in
after
column
you're
formation, then you can call cover.
To just snoozing.
Well, you just call it dress right dress. There's no preparatory. There's no execution.
Just say,
I need
this is
some
your
back support,
preparatory,
dude.
that's your command of
Okay.
execution.
Especially I'll be
It's gonna
falling
be
on
just
my
right.
ass later.
Okay, now I
Just-
see the appeal of doing the basketball fast mode.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is this how it is?
Bro, I'm the biggest
Yeah,
guy
for
on the
sure.
court.
He said
You
it's slower
go up,
than
you go
default.
down, you get pushed around.
The whole time?
Sujo,
I could probably speed us
quick
up.
question.
Yeah, what up?
If you're in inline formation, how do you get proper DCID?
Just right
I already know that stuff.
Okay. What about column?
Yeah, covered.
There you go.
It's on the board.
And then yeah, well,
Dang, that pop quiz was crazy.
I know, right?
You should have erased it and then asked.
going to SJSU, you realize that people don't get it right. Anyways, inline formation, you say dress right dress, and then what's after that?
No one here.
Ready front.
Yeah,
You'd call ready front.
Wait,
Ready front?
after what?
Wait, what?
dress right dress.
So when you're in a dress right dress.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll
write
go
that
over
on the
this
board.
later,
What
But
is
dress
ready
right dress is the
Which
command
one?
used to get
Any.
like, the proper
Yeah,
DCID when
same
you're in
thing.
inline,
Okay, yeah.
right? So that's, you're doing this.
Yep.
You stay there until the command ready front is called. Then you just go back to attention.
Okay.
Makes sense, for sure. Another mistake that we make is in when there's an obstacle, right? You call what the
He's enjoying this, not even.
You know what?
We made all these mistakes.
Route step, right?
route step.
Yeah, gonna win.
I was thinking about that all night, bro. It's not like I forgot it, and then I asked
I
someone
know.
on PT morning. You know?
Okay, but then what do you do? So you route step, and then what's afterwards?
Attention.
Yeah.
Come again.
Gotta look in. She's ready.
It's like 100 degrees in here. It's like
Okay, it's kind of hot.
If you want to open up a door, you can.
Really? It's kind of nice in
Not
here.
bad, yeah. What do you
sweating.
Yeah.
Okay,
my forehead's sweating.
Your
so whenever
forehead
there's
is sweating.
an obstacle, right, you'd call route step march.
This is my usual, bro.
To get out of it,
This is
you'd
my
either
usual
call
score.
flight attention or forward march. Something that's worth noting is that in
So
a route
this-
step
You got
march,
Is
you
it
got
one
like
like a pole or something?
Yeah.
On this one.
On this one?
in route step march,
Dude,
you can't call
I
cadence,
improved by like hundreds after just doing the speed mode once.
and you're walking
It
at
seems
ease.
way slower
So you're
right
allowed to
now.
move, like look around. You're not at attention. You know the whole point is to like get out, like over that obstacle.
I think I just
You
broke
can't
my
call
record.
cadence. You can't call other commands except for inclines. You can say incline to the left, incline to the right. To
Wait,
get-
what? When you're just normally marching?
Yeah, for sure.
When you're in route step.
You have
Oh,
the-
because it's
where
kind of
you're-
like double time, but you're still walking.
Yeah,
If
you're
you
walking
doesn't
at
end
ease.
up,
You're literally just walking.
I can't
You're not
see.
marching at attention. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wait, so what do you mean by that? It's like, so there's an obstacle, we just walk normally, and then after we pass that, then attention.
Then they'd call flight attention
Okay.
or forward march.
It's the same thing?
Yeah, you can use that for it.
Okay.
You have
Attention,
the-
at attention, you keep marching. When you call like flight attention after a route step, you're still marching.
So that's just going around something.
Yeah.
Double time, harsh is running.
Yeah.
How do
you
get
have
to
the
run?
Quick time.
warrior handbook like physically?
And then
Digitally.
tell me how you
Is
move
there
to
like
the
a
left
physical copy somewhere?
I don't know.
when you're in double time.
Do you have a copy of the DCH?
But it's like on my phone. But
Yeah.
I'm like,
Incline 90
God,
degrees
I
to
don't
the
like
left.
looking at my phone like that.
And
I
then
Do you
can't
do
find
anything
one.
other than
Copy.
90 degrees? You do 45?
You can do incline 45 degrees to the
Yeah,
left. And you're
sure.
not gonna say the
Yeah, we don't have like
execution command.
anything. We don't have emails. We don't have
I've never
access
gotten
to anything.
yeah,
We just
45.
you do the Google Drive.
Yeah.
You should take
45
it.
degrees to the
Yeah.
left, incline 45 degrees to the right. So now do
That's
it
what
again,
said.
but for the right side.
You have to email him
So
about
let's
the
say we're
Google
running.
Drive.
All right, let's
You gotta do
let's say
that.
we're marching. I want you to take me through it.
What do you
You're not
usually
fun.
get with normal mode?
So we're just
Just
marching,
do it
walking.
now.
We're just marching now. I want you to
Respond.
get to us
Double
running.
time, march,
Why do I need
Love
it?
it.
and then running.
Okay.
I don't-
All right, and now we want to
I'm
go
just guessing.
this
You
way,
don't.
and
Maybe you
then
don't, but just do
now
it.
I want to go. Okay.
What's
Do this.
the-
Line 45 degrees to the right.
Okay.
I don't know.
And now I want to do 90
Literally,
degrees.
just go on your SJU email and just type in his name, and it'll pop up.
And now I want to walk.
Don't type that when you use it.
Quick time.
I think.
Yep.
I think it's on the center, but I don't see it.
And then I don't think you have to do route step.
I don't think you
Well,
should.
you're doing
Or
double
if
time
anything, they'll probably
because
let you adjust where you're comfortable.
Really? Yeah.
Should we ask just in case?
That was
Or?
fixed into the desk.
sure.
No, but you can adjust
Yes.
it, sure.
Yeah.
When we're running,
Do we say route step?
yeah.
No. When you're
So
running,
they just auto guide.
No,
not automatic. Because when you're double timing, you're not
I
at
like
attention.
the robots.
That's what they say. Autobots roll
Does that,
out.
does that answer your question?
That union, somebody should auto guide.
People. I mean, we really kind of like.
Okay. So now we're gonna go over command voices. So there's kind of like 3 major things that you want to think of in a command voice. So the first is loudness and projection. That's just making sure like the whole of the formation can hear you, right? Go ahead. Second is inflection of commands, right? Inflection is just like the pitch or the falling or rising of your voice when you're giving a command. In normal 2-part commands, does anyone remember what a 2-part command is?
Trent, what do you change to the?
It's not a combination command.
Yeah.
A lot of changes.
It's preparatory and execution.
Yeah.
Oh, trauma.
So a preparatory command is always given with a rising inflection.
Yeah.
You think of it kind of like this. This is your preparatory command. That's your command of execution. The command of execution is given at a kind of higher inflection, and it's constant.
Oh,
so this could be like.
So, Mr. Joe Biden's coming?
Yeah. That's in February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Gratefully
Flank.
everyone's going, so.
Hunch.
Last meeting
The
out of
preparatory
the
command
semester.
is always like
No,
it has a rising inflection.
No, no,
The
you're
command of
supposed to
execution
talk to us
is
about
given
it.
just solid.
Is there hearing somewhere?
In combined commands like fall in, fall out, fall out of use, they're given at a constant
What have you been up to?
inflection.
Like, nice.
So this would be like
Flying. It's a lot of G-Bass stuff.
this would be like
Okay.
falling,
Yeah.
fall out.
You have,
Stuff like that.
This year,
Yep.
and then you're going for the board.
For last flank.
Yeah.
So we're
the data
marching?
freeze happens in a couple weeks.
So
Ooh,
if you want them to be in column again, do you halt and then
Because we're like same fiscal year.
left pace?
Yeah. Fingers crossed for both of you.
In inline,
Thank
you
you.
mean?
Yeah. You guys can
Yeah.
help.
Like
Yeah.
if you just like okay.
If you're marching in column, then you stop. Then you can just
What
left
is
face them.
what is flank?
A flanking movement.
Everybody at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time goes left or goes
It's
right
not just element
in
leaders,
route.
it's like just everyone.
So imagine we're all walking in
I think I got
columns.
it.
Okay, cool.
I know this is like a little bit more advanced drill
My
for
bad.
you guys, but I mean, if you guys want extra help, you
We're
guys
working
can
on
stay.
pivoting
with
We'll
too.
be
me.
I
fine.
don't
They're
know how
not.
to say
this stuff later.
I seriously.
You'll learn
doubt
a lot of stuff
that they're gonna
tomorrow,
be
too.
like, oh, you don't know this is day one. You don't know this. I doubt it.
You're gonna learn a lot of stuff tomorrow too. So like,
They get pretty hard on you pretty
Yeah,
fast.
you're out.
You're done.
If you don't know week 1 knowledge, they will start
No,
to
no,
like
I'm
grind
talking
on
about
you.
this.
I think you're
No,
right, bro.
not-
I think
not the
I'll get
knowledge.
20,000.
Hey, you better be prepared, like
What do you
Flint said.
Yeah.
They literally told me yesterday. They were like, oh yeah, we'll teach you tomorrow. Like,
You
teach
know,
you because if I
Slang
didn't.
Sing was really harsh, but like he taught me a lot though, so grateful for that.
Aw, thank you, Edwin.
And that goes for all of us.
does this inflection pattern and stuff make sense? Yeah. Cool. What about you guys?
Cadet Schultz, what was I harsh? No.
No,
No way.
no, you're not harsh.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the morning voice was just so
Yeah.
calming.
So this is the last thing. The very like there's a very
How'd you guys
special
sleep?
case with flight attention, right? That command.
Please.
It's given in this pattern. So it's a high, then low, and high. So it'd be like flight, tench, and
I told you you can get a 20K, bro.
this is pretty much it.
Can
Yeah.
you go over the element leader or like just pivoting with which foot in general? Because I'm still confused on that.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can cut the recording now. That's like basically
Okay.
the advanced.